Hello, 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 my beautiful Royal Sussex Squad family. Welcome back to your favourite place on the internet, where we tell the real story, the one that matters, the one the mainstream media just can't bring themselves to admit. I'm so thrilled to have you with me today because we've got a hot topic to dive into. King Charles, David Beckham, and the so-called clear message they're trying to send to our beloved Prince Harry. But we're not here to parrot the same tired tabloid lines. No, we're here to look deeper, to see through the noise and understand what's really going on. But before we get rolling, please take a moment to tap that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give that notification bell a gentle nudge so you never miss an update. And if you're feeling generous and want to support this community, consider dropping a super thanks. Every bit of support helps us keep this conversation alive and thriving. All right, let's get into it because there's so much to unpack here. Let's start with the big headline. King Charles is giving David Beckham a knighthood. Now, on the surface, that might look like a nice pat on the back for the football legend, someone who spent decades representing England, showing up at events and working with charities. Sure, on the face of it, it seems like a straightforward honour. But let's be real. Nothing in the royal world is ever that simple, especially when it's tied to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. David Beckham's been working the royal circuit for years, smiling for the cameras, showing up at garden parties, sharing polite chit-chat with the King and the Prince of Wales. He's played the game perfectly, hasn't he? He's done everything the establishment loves: show up, shake hands, look good for the cameras, and never, ever rock the boat. And now he's getting the ultimate reward, a shiny new title. Sir David Beckham. It's the perfect symbol of how the monarchy rewards those who play along. But what about Harry and Meghan? Let's not forget that David Beckham was once in Harry's inner circle. He and Victoria were right there at Harry and Meghan's wedding in 2018, sitting in the pews, beaming for the cameras. Beckham even flew halfway around the world to support the Invictus Games in Sydney, an event that has Harry's heart and soul written all over it. Back then, it looked like a genuine friendship, a bond built on mutual respect and shared values. But of course, the media will never let Harry and Meghan just have something pure and honest, will they? No, they'd rather spin every story into a soap opera, a cheap tabloid drama. So suddenly, out of nowhere, we're told that Meghan accused the Beckhams of leaking stories about them, leaking stories to the press. The same British press that has hounded Meghan from day one, printing lie after lie, never missing a chance to twist the narrative. Whether those leaks actually happened or not, we may never know. But what we do know is that the moment there was any hint of conflict, the Beckhams didn't exactly rush to defend Harry and Meghan, did they? They didn't stand up and say, "No, that's not true." Instead, they melted seamlessly back into the royal fold, smiling alongside the king, shaking hands with the future king, and keeping that knighthood dream alive. Because, let's be honest, that's how this system works. If you want to be in the good graces of the monarchy, you have to toe the line. You have to show up when they want you, keep quiet when it matters most, and most importantly, never, ever challenge the system. And David Beckham? Well, he's played that role to perfection. Meanwhile, Prince Harry and Meghan chose a different path. They chose honesty. They chose truth. They chose to protect their family, even if it meant turning their backs on a system that never had their backs in the first place. They chose to stand up and say, "No more." And for that, they've been branded the villains in this twisted fairy tale. Now, the media wants you to believe that Harry is sitting over in California watching this knighthood ceremony unfold, feeling left out and bitter. But let me tell you something. Harry isn't the one playing dress-up for titles and trinkets. He's been on the ground, rolling up his sleeves, fighting for veterans, raising awareness about mental health and supporting families in need. He doesn't need a fancy title to validate who he is or what he's done. His worth isn't measured in medals or ceremonies, it's measured in the lives he's touched and the legacy he's building with Meghan. And Meghan? Let's not even get started on the way the media loves to twist her story. They want to blame her for every single rift in every single relationship, like she's some puppet master pulling the strings. But the truth is, Meghan has always stood for compassion, dignity, and using her voice to uplift others. She's faced relentless attacks from the British press, but she's never backed down. She's still here, still standing, and still using her platform to make a difference. So let's circle back to this knighthood for David Beckham. The headlines say it's a clear message from King Charles to Harry. But if you ask me, it's not about Harry at all. It's about preserving an image, rewarding loyalty, and sending a message to the world that the monarchy will always protect its own, as long as you play by their rules. That's the real message here. And let's not forget the little subplot they're trying to stir up with Brooklyn Beckham and his parents. Suddenly, Harry and Meghan are being dragged into that too, like they're somehow meddling in the Beckham family drama just because they had dinner with Brooklyn and Nicola. Please. Harry and Meghan know better than anyone what it feels like to be caught in family conflicts. If anything, they're the last people who would stir the pot. They're the ones offering a safe space, a listening ear, and a table where people can come together and be seen for who they really are. The hypocrisy is staggering, isn't it? When Harry and Meghan choose to step away and live a quieter life in California, they're branded as selfish, attention-seeking, or disloyal. But when David Beckham cozies up to the king and the future king, he's a hero. He's loyal, he's honourable, and he's getting a knighthood for it. That's the double standard in plain sight. But here's the thing the media won't say out loud. Harry and Meghan don't need to be part of that tired old system to have worth. They don't need to sit in gilded halls or wear fancy medals to prove who they are. They've already proven it by speaking their truth, by lifting up the voices of the marginalised, and by refusing to be silenced. When Harry and Meghan talk about mental health, they're not reading from a prepared script, they're sharing their own struggles. They're saying, we've been there, we know what it feels like. And that kind of honesty, it scares the establishment, it terrifies them. Because if people see that kind of courage, if people see Harry and Meghan standing in their truth and still thriving, maybe they'll start to question why we need these outdated titles and ceremonies at all. And that's why they keep trying to drag them down. That's why every time Harry and Meghan so much as breathe, the tabloids find a way to spin it into drama. They can't stand that Harry and Meghan are living life on their own terms and doing it beautifully. They can't stand that Harry and Meghan are free. Because freedom is what this is really about, isn't it? It's about the freedom to choose your own path, to raise your children without the weight of toxic tradition, and to build something new, something healthier, something more authentic. And Harry and Meghan have done that. They're showing us what it looks like to break the cycle, to put family first, and to heal the wounds that the institution just keeps reopening. So when you see those headlines about David Beckham's knighthood, remember what's really going on. It's not just about a footballer getting a shiny medal, it's about a system that rewards those who keep quiet and punishes those who speak out. It's about who the monarchy chooses to embrace and who they choose to exile. And it's about the power of people like Harry and Meghan, who refuse to let that system define them. Let me tell you something, my Royal Sussex Squad family. The monarchy can have its ceremonies, its titles and its empty gestures. Let them have their pageantry. Because out here in the real world, what matters isn't a title. It's your integrity. It's how you treat people. It's the causes you fight for and the compassion you show, even when the world is against you. And that's why I will always stand with Harry and Meghan. Because they've shown us that you don't need a crown to make a difference. You don't need a knighthood to be a knight in shining armour for your family, your community and your principles. They've chosen the harder path, the path of truth and accountability. And in the end, that's the only legacy that really matters. So let's keep this conversation going. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me how you feel about this knighthood, what you think it really means, and why Harry and Meghan's courage continues to inspire you. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel so you never miss one of these deep dives. Hit that notification bell, and let's keep this community strong and growing. King Charles sends clear message to Prince Harry with David Beckham knighthood. David Beckham has been schmoozing the royal family for years, and now his hard work has finally paid off. It's no secret that David Beckham has been vying for a knighthood for years, and now it appears his prayers have been answered. The former England captain, who has attended a string of royal engagements and charity events in recent years, will become Sir in the King's birthday honours list next week, The Sun reports. Over the past few years, he has struck up a close friendship with the 76-year-old monarch and his son, the Prince of Wales. He recently joined the King at the RHS Chelsea Flower Show, was invited to his first Buckingham Palace State banquet last year, and has made key contributions to charities linked to Charles and William. While the Windsors are no doubt pleased with Beckham's gong, there's one royal who will be less than pleased by the news. Prince Harry was also once close to the football legend, with Posh and Becks among the congregation at the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's royal wedding in 2018. Beckham also flew to Sydney to support Harry's 2018 Invictus Games. But this seems to be where their friendship started to go wrong, as the Duke didn't want his friend involved in photo ops. Since then, Meghan accused the celebrity power couple of leaking stories about them, in a major deterioration of their friendship. The two couples are now no longer on speaking terms, and Harry has watched from afar as his former pal enjoys close relationships with his estranged family. The icing on the cake of the family drama came last month, when the Sussexes appeared to get involved with the Beckhams' fallout with their son, Brooklyn Beckham. The eldest son of Victoria, and David, aged 26, is engaged in a long-running family feud with his parents and did not attend his father's star-studded 50th birthday celebrations. But Meghan and Harry appear to be on hand to help the feuding son, as they invited Brooklyn and his wife, Nicola Peltz, for dinner at their Montecito home last month. The two women are said to have found common ground after they have both been accused of wrecking their husbands' families. Harry may well find Beckham's knighthood a kick in the teeth, as the football legend will no doubt continue to nail his colours to the past and support Crown and Country over a former senior royal who continues to make public attacks on the royal family, who are powerless to respond. When I met the football legend at a royal engagement with Prince William last October, he was a bundle of energy and revelled in helping out his pal. He revelled in the cause, which saw millions raised for 2 new London Air Ambulance helicopters, and the pair's friendship was plain for all to see. Beckham's gong is a long time coming, and alongside his impressive right foot and charitable endeavours, his friendship with the royal family will long be remembered. And if you're feeling the love and want to support this work directly, please send us a super thanks. Every bit helps us keep this truth-telling mission alive, and I can't thank you enough for being part of it. Thank you for spending this time with me today, my amazing Royal Sussex Squad family. Keep standing up for what matters, keep lifting each other up, and remember, no title, no ceremony, no knighthood can ever overshadow the power of love and the strength of your own truth. I'll see you in the next one.